What topics can I write a book about? Now, I'd seen that question asked on the Cure today, and I thought I would cover it because there might be some people in the future who might be wondering, a question like that. So I thought I would cover all my bases and cover some of the beginner questions in these videos and podcast episodes as well. Now, if you are looking to write a book, one of the things I would recommend doing is making sure that you are writing to an audience that is actually looking for a book on that topic. Now, there's nothing worse than spending weeks or months writing a book, then releasing it, and then finding out nobody wants it. So, what are the main topics that you could go into? Now, this podcast episode is probably going to be more tailored towards non-fiction, but if you are somebody maybe who is writing fiction, you can take on some of this advice and just use it as well. Now, probably the biggest two topics that you can write a book on non-fiction are probably health and wealth. If you went back through the Google searches a year ago, a year in the future or whatever, you're going to find people are always looking for ways to be healthier, to be more attractive, maybe to be more attractive to the opposite sex. They're probably looking for more money. How can I make more money from home? How can I, get into such a currency or whatever? So there are people who are looking either for health or wealth. So those are probably the two biggest topics. So is there any wee niche in that maybe that you could get into? Now, if you're not too sure, again, sometimes doing your homework can save you a lot of wasted time. So go over to Amazon and have a look at maybe the money making niche, and don't just look at the first kind of search results. Have a look at the subcategories that are actually in that. Maybe the cryptocurrencies, people working from home, that probably breaks down into blogging, websites, all those different things, and have a look and see, is there anything there that interests you? Now, when it comes to writing a book, the best and the easiest book you'll ever write is something that you have some knowledge on, or something that you are interested in yourself and want to find out more. Now, if I was looking to write a book on rocket science, there's probably only one or two pages I could write about rockets. But my knowledge, I could probably write about, the pointy bit points to the sky, the flamey bit comes out of the end, and it goes straight up. And that probably sums up my knowledge of rockets. Now, if I wanted to write a book about rockets, I would probably need to put in a lot of homework. I would probably need to, motivate myself to find out about that. If I wasn't motivated to find out about it. Whereas I have a dog, I'm a big dog lover. If I was looking maybe to write a book about dog training, now I don't have a lot of knowledge on dog training, but because I am motivated maybe to train Summer, to get her to do some tricks or whatever, it wouldn't be too much hassle for me to sit down, watch some YouTube videos, maybe buy a couple of training courses, get talking to a couple of experts, read a couple of blogs, buy some books on the topic, because I want looking to find out as much as I can for my own life to use it on Summer, but then I can also take that knowledge over to my book and put it in that. So if you are looking to write a book, try and find something that motivates you, something that interests you, or something that you could find out more about because you're actually interested in it. That will be the easiest book you're ever going to write. For me to sit down and write a book today about rocket science, I know it's going to be bad before I even start. I know there's going to be a load of homework involved, and I know I am definitely not motivated to do that. So that book is going to be a poor book, and your reader is going to notice it on the other side. If you're not motivated, if you're not inspired, if you're not glad to be writing that book, your reader is going to sense that on the other side, and it's going to come across as a poor book. So again, if you're looking at fiction, what niches or genres are you interested in? Are you a big horror lover? Well, then for you to write a horror book is going to be easy because you probably know all the tropes, all the kind of little things that need to go into a horror book. And because you have a love of horror, it's going to be easy for you to write a horror book, or again, romance, whatever. What are you reading at the moment? Could you go into that niche yourself? Because you have a love of it, those books are going to be far easier for you to write than anything else. If you are a big lover of horror, but the biggest niche at the moment could be romance, are you really going to be motivated to write a romance book? Do you really know what goes into a romance book? Sometimes you're safer staying in your own lane and going with your likes. So another way to find out what topics you could write a book about, if you're not too sure, grab a pen and paper and have a look at what do you normally search up on Google. The majority of times, what kind of topics are you looking up on Google? Are you trying to get better at blogging? Are you maybe looking to be more of an influencer? Pardon me, my teeth got loose there. Are you more of an influencer? Are you looking to be something like that? Are you someone who is looking to get maybe better at their websites, marketing, sales, copywriting? What are the majority of searches you're doing online? What are you looking up? Now, if you are looking those topics up, do you think anyone else could be looking those topics out too? Do you think someone else could be looking for a beginner book on that topic, or an intermediate book from what you know? So have a look at what you are searching. What are your hobbies and your pastimes? What could you happily do for hours at a time? Whether that's building model trains, whether that is building websites, whether that's blogging, whether that's recording videos, whether that's podcasts. What would you do? Something that comes so easy to you and that you don't find hard to do every day. You look forward to it because it's something that you love doing. Is there maybe a book on that would slot into either the health or the wealth niches? Have you ever got compliments on doing something? Do you find somebody, maybe a friend, turns around and says, "Here, will you fix this part of my car because I can't do it?" Maybe you're very good with cars. Is there maybe somebody who maybe comes to you, and says, "Well, have a look at this website for me. Have a look at this, have a look at that. Oh, you're so gifted. How can you do that so easy? I find that so complicated." Is there something like that maybe that's showing up again and again in your life? Things that you find easy to do, things that people will compliment you on, things that you can do well, maybe things that you can do better than other people. Are there things like that? So write all those down, and you will find there will be something that will pop out that maybe you could slot into one of those, the health or the wealth niche. And again, go over to Amazon. Amazon's probably one of the best places to do your homework. Have a look and see, is anyone writing books on that topic? Now, if you find people aren't writing books on that topic, there's probably a good reason for it. There's no money in it, there's no readers in it, and nobody really wants to know anything about it. So again, the toenail clipping book isn't probably going to be a bestseller. So have a look at seeing what's selling well. But again, beware, even though books are selling well in that category, that doesn't mean you can just throw a book in there and it's automatically going to shoot up onto the New York Times bestseller. You're probably going to have to put some marketing into place, but we'll leave that out for now. We'll just stick to the basics of what you should write a book on. Again, health and wealth is probably what people are looking for, and then have a look at what you know and what you would like to know more about, and then again to that list you've made out on that piece of paper: hobbies, pastimes, work experience. Maybe if you have an offline job, for example, maybe if you owned a photography shop, could you write a book on how you get clients, how you get referrals, how do you get people to show up your door, how do you write your advertisements, because there are probably people offline who are looking for help with that, or maybe interested in setting up a photography shop and would love to know all that knowledge and all those years of experience that you have. If you could put them into a book, I'm sure they would really appreciate it. And again then too, is there things that people compliment you on, things that you find very easy to do, and things where maybe you probably sit down in the chair and you think it's only 5 minutes but 2 or 3 hours have passed because you've got so engrossed in it. So those things are probably going to be the easiest things for you to write on. Again, once you get your first books out there, you'll probably see what works, what doesn't, what you're interested in writing about, and if you have another second book in you, or if it's something that maybe you just don't want to do. So again, write that book, but listen to the episode here, grab a pen and paper, but take on that advice, because unfortunately, if you just throw a book out there that there's no audience for, you're probably going to find nobody's going to want to buy it. You're not going to make money from it, and it is definitely not going to motivate you to sit down and write a second book. So if you'd like to ask me a question, or you'd like me to cover something like that in an upcoming podcast or video, you're very welcome to reach out to barryjmcdonald@gmail.com. Or if you'd like to know more about these videos and podcast episodes, where are they going? If you do a search in Google, iTunes, YouTube or whatever for WriteCome, that's WriteCome.com, you'll find the content all over the web. And if you come over to the WriteCome site right now, you'll find a great free report which is called 10 Ways to Make Money from Writing. Pardon me, that was the old name for it. The new name for that report is called Words to Wealth, and in it I'm going to show you 10 ways you can make money from your keyboard. So if you'd like to grab that free report, head over to WriteCome now, download it and let me know how you get on with it. And as always, thanks for sharing your time again today. Take care, have a great day. Bye bye.